Hi everybody. So it's been quite some time since my last ramble. It's currently 2:30 in the morning, so I thought I'd make a ramble because it's been a minute. A lot of stuff has been going on, a lot of new progress on wide. So I'm going to cover that first. So let's see. For starters, I got 99 attack, almost 99 defense. I'm 4 levels away. I'm thinking about just leaving it for school time when I need to AFK while doing homework. So I'm also a hit point level away, so those are 299s waiting to happen. Before I continue with that, I just want to say that I have a goal to basically hit exactly 1400 total by doing a certain set of skills and leaving them at certain levels. So for example, defense and hit points will be maxed. My combat will be maxed. My melees, at least. Now, prayer, if you saw, is no longer 9. At the moment, it's 6. Or at the moment, it's 60. However, I bought the big bones for 80. Magic will be either 95 or 96, depending on how much I train it with combats and woodcutting, just high alching in the back. If I get 95, then I will have to get 78 range. If I get 96, I will get 77 range. Now, runecraft and mining, they will basically be worked together. So if I want to get mining to 75, that means I'll have to do runecrafting to 75 as well. If I want to mine more, I'll get 80 mining and only 70 runecrafting. Crafting was 88. I recently got 99 crafting. Really fun skill. I did mostly emeralds and finished it off with rubies. Again, very fun skill. And woodcutting's 3 levels away. I plan to get that to 99 too. And currently I'm smithing. I am at 37.8 mil. So here is the final statement, if you will. I want to go for 1400 total so I can then go for 200 mil smithing. Now that's a pretty big statement to say and to make because I've made that statement, well, not in the video, but I've made that statement before with cooking and I burnt out at 78.5 with wines, which is a way faster XP per hour method than this is. However, I feel I have a different mentality with gains as I did before, whereas before I was really prone to burning out because I just didn't have the correct mindset, in the sense that I would play as much or as many hours as possible per day and do that every single day. Also during the summer, where I was enjoying my summer and hanging out with people, and it got me not wanting to log on RuneScape and rather just go out and be with friends. So the mindset changed because it's still summer, I still want to go out with friends, and I do. However, now I give myself a small goal for the day. So how that works is basically, for example, I want to get 1 mil smith XP every day. XP per hour is 200k, so I will basically be doing this for 5 hours a day. If I do that every day, I get 7 mil weeks. And little by little, I chip away at that and get 200 mil smithing. However, I do want to get 1400 total, so I made myself a little list of skills that I need to do and how many hours each of them will take. So, as you can see, I also bought the big bones here for 80 prayer. Probably start doing 2 H's now. Okay. Before I continue, just want to say that Uncle Thomas, Bargain, and I made our own clan chat quite a while ago. It's really peaceful, very quiet. It's also, like I said, 2:30 a.m., so not too many people on right now. But this is a really good and very cool clan chat. It was very selective at first, so where we didn't tell anyone but people we wanted in this clan chat. And then I guess they started telling their friends, and other people started coming in. I will leave a link in the description to the subreddit. If you're interested in joining, I would like for you to read the master post on the subreddit and come in to chill with us. Again, it's only 2:30 a.m., so not too many people on right now. But before, it was like quite a lot of people. I had to like scroll, which is really cool because again, we never advertise this clan to anyone. We private message certain friends, and I guess they told their friends to come. So okay, that's that. God damn it, this dude. Another thing is, World 3D5 had like 7 people at their anvils. What the fuck? That's so many. We definitely need a 1k skill total world. This is, I mean, this is disrupting my 1 ticks. So annoying. Oh my god. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So my mindset with getting XP has changed. I basically have a semi-long-term goal set out, and I have it set out to the pretty much like to as specific as I can possibly make it. For example, I want to get 1400 total. I already told you which skills I need to do that. After I'm 1400, I can very freely go for 200 mil smith straight away. Now if I do about 7 mil to 8 mil weeks, I will be able to achieve 200 mil by the end of the year. Now if I don't get it by the end of the year, that's okay, it's not a big deal. However, that is kind of the goal, as well as 1400 again. So the profit on this is obviously nowhere near as good as it used to be, but that's okay because you can't really, it's kind of preposterous for someone to be complaining about not making as big of a profit on a 200 mil, because you're not doing the 200 mil for money, you know, like 200 mil is a big number. If you do a 200 mil, you're doing it for the XP, and if anything, we should be thankful that we're making profit, let alone breaking even and not losing money. Like that's even way worse, you know. And this is a pretty good XP rate, 200k XP, 210k if you're very efficient. I'm probably getting around 205 right now, but yeah. So that's that. Alright, also total XP is 220, 222 mil. That's that. So I wanted this ramble to actually be about pay-to-play alting and the honor of it, or the loyalty of being a free-to-play pure player. So there are a lot of players out there that pay-to-play alt, and there are a lot of players out there that refuse to play to pay alt because they believe that, what am I doing? They believe that using a pay-to-play alt goes against the whole point of being a free-to-play, which is to get the skills solely free-to-play and without using any pay-to-play methods to make money. In my opinion, money is the biggest problem, or the biggest challenge for free-to-play. It's not, like, the skilling's obviously also difficult for the most part, but, or at least time-consuming. I don't want to say difficult, but it's definitely time-consuming, and a lot more time-consuming than maximum pay-to-play, right? But the money is the tough part to get, and to make about 600 to 700 mil in free-to-play, it's extremely difficult, and I would say very few people have actually done that in this entire world. Like, people who, like, regardless of people who want to max free-to-play or not, like, I doubt there are many people who can very confidently say, I've made over 400 mil from free-to-play flipping, and only free, or 700 mil from only free-to-play flipping, you know. The most I've made, I think, is like 150 mil, and that's from like over a year of flipping, you know. So it's gonna. Alright, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on all this a little bit later. I just wanted to cover the bases. So, a lot of people who do pay to play alt say that it's a waste of time, and it basically takes away your time and your skilling by not efficiently pay to play alting. So while I'm doing this, I could be runecrafting double astrals or even double nats or deaths and making upwards of 1 to 1.9 mil an hour, and at the same time I'm also making 400 to 500 kgp an hour. And now once I do 200 mil smithing, I'll have crafting and fire making bought out completely, and you know what I mean. So that's the utmost efficiency. Now there are other players who are pretty decent too, and they refuse to use it. Some refuse to use it simply because they can't be asked to play on an alt, which I totally understand. And another reason why people don't want to play on an pay-to-play alt is because of the feeling like you're not being useful, or you're not being, I guess, time efficient. So every time you're playing a free-to-play account, your mind is telling you you're wasting time by not making money on the pay-to-play account. So you always feel stressed and you feel like you're obligated to play on that account and make money for yourself. So that's a really big reason why people are against pay-to-play alting. But that's, in my opinion, more so a discipline kind of thing rather than, just being lazy. I feel like just people don't have the discipline to do that, which I, again, totally understand. Like, it takes a lot of discipline to pay to play all the time and play on your free to play account. Like, it's not a simple thing for sure. And it's definitely not normal. Like, how many games do you know where you play 2 accounts at the same time? I can't name too many. So, and a game where efficiency is a very big factor, you definitely try to be efficient on this one, your main of course, but you also try to be efficient on your alt, and that makes it like insanely click intensive, which is cool. But again, that's not for everybody, so I totally understand why some people wouldn't want to do that for those reasons. Now, the people who do pay to play alt do it because they want to get as far as they can with the game. For example, 99 Prayer, that is just extremely difficult or extremely long of a time to get 99 Prey by making the money for it, or do what Soph is doing and actually kill moss giants and bury the bones. He's been doing it for a really long time. I believe he's 95 prayer, so he should get it by the end of the year, which is awesome. However, he is definitely one of a kind, and there are very few people who will actually achieve 99 prayer through moss giants besides Iron Men. And come on, like we're comparing Iron Men to regulars, like it's insane for a regular to do an Iron Man method. Well, even though the Iron Man HP I believe is like burying bones in the boneyard, it's something insane. But I'm getting off topic. So pay to play alt users basically want to get as far as they can with the game by alting, and that's fair. So let's say I'm doing a collectible like finishing off 90 woodcutting, which will take me about 40 to 50 hours if I 3-tick. But let's say I don't 3-tick so I can pay to play alt, it'll take me about 60 hours. And if in those 60 hours, let's say I do double astrals, that would make me roughly 60 mil GP. Those 60 mil can be put towards, I already bought the bones, but 60 more mil of that could be put into prayer, and I'd be that much closer to getting 99. And during prayer, you can't really make money on an alt, well, with the rune crafting method. So that's another thing I want to go over, like the certain methods that people might use depending on the skills that they're training. So, for example, let's say you are doing prayer. I know Freckled Kid is doing prayer, and he's AFKing on a gargoyle alt, which he says is pretty good profit. I believe it's around, it can be up to 500k or maybe even higher, which is great, which is really cool because you're AFKing. But you do need max gear, and if you have maxed stats, that's what I believe he's basing his 500k off of. I'm pretty sure he said he made up to 1 mil sometimes, but let's just say 500k to make a flat rate on it. So if you make 500k an hour, and you bury bones for, let's say, 300 hours, assuming you get 40k, it's about 12 mil XP. 300 of those hours getting 500k GP, I believe that's 150 mil. And that's 150 mil that you made back from the prayer. And now let's say you go onto a completely different skill, like, let's say you didn't do combats, right? And you want to AFK giant spiders. That is completely full AFKing, and there you can do double deaths, which is about 1.8 mil an hour right now, or 1.9. That is insanely good. And by the time you're done with defense, you'll have already AFK'd a good 100 hours and made 190 mil. And that already covers the cost of what you spent getting that night prayer. So I guess gargoyle AFKing alts are a thing. It's kind of like the meta right now. Rune crafting has always been appropriate. So depending on for this skill right here, I can definitely rune craft. It wouldn't be efficient, of course, because I do have to bank and stuff, but yeah, rune crafting is definitely efficient. I can also do gargoyles, like I said. Motherlode mining is also another one. However, that is a lot less profit per hour, but it's really chill. No stress because, it's semi-AFK. And I believe at 99 mining, you can make upwards of 400k GP per hour, which is decent. Again, for something so AFK, it's not bad. You can also be cooking Karam ones, depending on the price. They're usually about 200 GP difference. So if you cook about 1.5k an hour at Rogue's Den, that's like, oh, my brain's frozen. It's about 300 KGP per hour for really AFK cooking. So that's not bad too, I guess. And also you can do pay-to-play flipping. Now, you have to be decent with your flipping in general, but on top of that, you have to know your items for pay-to-play. And for someone who's a solely a free-to-play player, and someone who's been kind of excommunicated from pay-to-play meta, so to speak, it's tough to get involved with the items and know which items are good to flip. So it might take some time, but pay-to-play flipping can be extremely profitable. Again, if you're good with your items and stuff. So these are all pretty good methods for pay-to-play alting that a lot of people do. And I personally think that either or is totally cool. There's no like committee that sits and says, alright, you're a pure free-to-play, or no, you're not a pure free-to-play player. There's no consensus on that. Or rather, there is a consensus, and it doesn't matter if you pay to play alt or not. You're still a pure free-to-play player as long as this account has never been members. And there are some people who disagree with that, mainly the people who don't alt. But what I say to those people is that, you know, if you want to be competitive, being as efficient as possible is definitely the best way to be competitive, and to do that you need to alt. So if you're complaining that someone is beating your rank, it is because they're doing a lot more effort and being a lot more efficient than you. Therefore, they deserve that rank above yours. But again, if you don't want to alt, that's totally cool too. You shouldn't feel obligated to want to alt, you know, but don't be surprised when someone who's alting beats your rank. You know, it's a pretty normal thing to expect. It's just like if you put in more work, you'll advance at a faster pace than those who don't put in more work, right? So here's my opinion on it. So for the past almost year, I guess, past like 10 months, I stopped using an alt completely because I was one of those people who completely just hated logging onto wide and feeling like I'm wasting my time by not making money on my alt. So I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna make money from free to play. And I had a really good run, honestly. I made a good 150, 100, well, I think I ended up with 220 mil, and I started with around 50 mil, so I guess I made 170 mil total profit. Most of it was from flipping, but a lot of it was from smithing as well, back when like I made about 1 mil GP per hour, which is, okay, so quick story. My internet disconnects once every hour, so I'm gonna have to stop this, wait for my internet to come back in like 30 seconds, wait for wide to completely log out so I can relog, and then I'm gonna continue the video. Alright, so I'm back. So as I was saying, yeah, I went about 10 months without using an alt, and I made a decent amount of money from flipping, and some of it from smithing as well. And it was really fun. It was very stress-free. However, now I got to the point where I want to advance a little bit quicker, and also I started to miss rune crafting, pay-to-play rune crafting, not free-to-play at all. I haven't free-to-play rune crafted in like 2 years, I believe. Yeah, so I actually renewed my old account's membership. This account was made before free-to-play was even released, so that was my main before free-to-play was out. So that became my pay-to-play alt a while ago, and now I renewed it, and it's my pay-to-play alt now. However, I'm not as intense as I was like a year and a half ago with my pay-to-play alt. I'm not on it all the time. I'm on it when I feel like playing it. So I recently got 82 rune crafting, so I can do double astrals. I believe I'm like 84 rune crafting right now. I make double astrals whenever I can. I haven't made too much, but I think like 5 mil total, which is like 5 hours, which is really shit, to be honest. But again, I don't play too much on it. I actually visited Motherlode Mine today and tried it out. I think I made like 400k from like an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is so bad. But again, I'm not in the mood to alt, but when I do alt, it's usually rune crafting, and that's that. I do flip a little bit. Again, when I gave that spiel about those people who want to start flipping pay to play, they have to get informed about the items. I'm one of those people. You know, I haven't been involved with members in a very long time, so it took me a few tries, and I lost some cash, like a few hundred K, but I made it back and even made some profit because I get the items a little bit better, and I know which items to flip now. However, I don't flip as often as I definitely should because most of my cash goes into buying bars for this account. But yeah, I do pay to play alt. I think it's totally fine, like I said, to pay to play alt. And even if you don't pay to play alt, that's just as fine. It's okay. It's no right, no wrong. However, if you do pay to play alt, you're expected to have better stats, or at least have better potential. So like, let's say you find a player who's pretty new, right, and he doesn't pay to play alt. You might not expect him to be as or you might not expect him to have as much potential as someone who says, yeah, I have 500 mil banked for free to play buyables. And then you look at him and you could be like, yeah, this dude definitely is going to get far. And that's pretty cool. So yeah, right now I'm alting, you know, not right now, but I'm saying like currently I am alting, and not much has been made. I don't know if much will be made. Again, I just alt whenever I feel like it. I'm not going to be needing money for a very long time since I am going for 200 mil smithing. We'll make a decent amount of cash from that. Probably like from here on out, I need 162 mil. Let's just say it's 38. 162 mil XP times 2. That's about 324 mil XP. Or GP rather. So I'll make a decent amount of cash from that, and by the time I finish that, I will also be alting a little bit, like I'd say a couple hundred hours on my pay to play alt and make a couple hundred mil on that. By the time I do that, I can finish off cooking, but that's a different story, and that's quite some time away, so I'm not going to talk about finishing cooking because I really want to, and I calculated I'm only 150 hours away with wines, which is very, very possible, you know. Yeah. So yeah, there's the consensus on alting on my end. I think it's totally fine, and I'm actually pretty interested in member meta. You know, like if there's a new moneymaker out, I'm always looking. I'm always trying to find like the easy way out to not be able to, or not need to click a lot. Like let's say Astro's rune crafting. I really enjoy Astro's rune crafting. I race a couple of people all the time. It makes it a lot more fun and enjoyable. However, it could get annoying because it's not really that click intensive. I guess the banking part is the most fun because that's the most click intensive, but at the same time you're playing on this account, so a lot of times you miss clicks because you, again, like I said, I mentioned this before, you're trying to be efficient on both accounts, and you kind of mess up on the other one, and then you mess up on this one, and then it becomes like completely inefficient for that those 15-30 seconds, and it kind of repeats every once in a while, so it gets a little bit annoying. Something I just have to get used to. I always, like, I never make wide wait. Like if it finishes and my alt is about to runecraft, I don't runecraft. I go to this account, I finish my thing, and then I go back to the alt. Like I always treat this as efficient as possible, and the alt, you know, I take my time with my alt. But that's that. So I guess I covered the pay to play alt scenario. There's not much else to talk about it. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool if you don't use it. However, I don't think people who don't use it should shit on the people who do use it. Like, there's so many people in the older clan chat, World 385. I'm not going to name names. I'm just going to say that a lot of these people are like, yeah, pay to play alts are stupid. Fuck pay to play alts. And it's, I don't get it. Like, why? Why fuck those pay to play alt users? It doesn't hurt you in any sense. Like, you're not getting hurt by it in real life. Your account's not losing money. Your account's not losing experience, and that option is available for you. It's the exact same case with AHK use. Back when people said fuck AHK, blah blah blah, AHK users are cheaters, and then Shift Key came out and all these other shits, and then people are all over it, and it's like, dude, this was out way before and you had the option to use it, but you didn't want to. You know, whatever. I went over this a while ago. it's same scenario. Like, everyone has the option to alt if they want to. If they don't want to, they don't have to, but they definitely should not be against those people who do want to use it, simply because there's no reason not, or there's no reason to be angry at those who use it, because the ones who don't use it are chilling, right? They're just doing this or watching a movie. And the people who do alt, they're playing on this account and at least one other account. You know, like, they're doing a lot more work, they're putting a lot more effort into it. So these people definitely deserve respect. Although I do say they're like Sofa, he's completely free to play, and I am in love with the fact that he never used pay to play alts. Like, that is insanely respectful. That's really cool. However, that would take so much less time if he had pay to play alted. You know what I mean? But the fact that he didn't, and he's still where he is right now, that's insanely incredible. You know, it's really cool. So that's that. I'm not going to keep reiterating everything I said. Pretty sure I've covered everything. I think that's going to conclude the ramble. Might not have been as long as I would have liked, but I think this is a pretty concise topic, and I think I covered it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Maybe not in a few months like the last one. I don't know, I just need to find motivation to make a video. So when I see other people that I like to listen make rambles, it motivates me to find time to make a ramble, like right now. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care.